Hello everybody and welcome back to another Pivotal YouTube video. I know it's been a while since I've recorded, but I've been busy. So I've been watching all of Star Wars. Like literally all of it. Every single thing on Disney Plus that is canon. I didn't watch like the old Clone Wars cartoon. I didn't watch like Young Jedi Adventures, that kind of stuff, because it's not canon. I didn't watch Visions, that kind of stuff. But I watched everything, so like The Mandalorian, the Clone Wars, all of the movies, like everything that was canon. And so, I've finished. Like, a few days ago, I finished. And I'm going to do a full review of just Star Wars. So, first off, I'm going to say my favorite and least favorite of both movies and shows. My favorite movie is still Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. It's just perfection, from storytelling to characters to just everything. I also loved the novel, but that's not canon anymore. Show, it's, my favorite show is the Clone Wars series. Not the old one, but the newer one. Because, yeah, that one's just amazing. Um, it's a little, like, out of order. I mean, I guess that is the point, because it just is. But it's not in chronological order, which is kind of annoying, but hey, it's fine. Not everything has to be in chronological order, I guess. But yeah, those were my favorites. And my least favorite movie is still either The Last Jedi or Phantom Menace. I can't really decide between the two. They're both really bad. But probably Phantom Menace, because that one just kind of sucked. And my least favorite show was either Star Wars Rebels or, yeah, probably Rebels. It just, nothing about that show was good, except for the ending. The ending was really good, because it very much mirrored the death of Kanan, when we saw the death of Ezra Bridger. So yeah, I don't want to spoil anything too much, but there's that. I hope you've already seen Rebels. Yeah. So, all of Star Wars, overall, it was really good, from the whole storyline to individual things. I think Disney kind of ruined whatever it did. Like, basically, it ruined whatever it touched for Star Wars. Like, half of the stuff that they didn't fit with the original canon. And also, they introduced two other Yoda characters, like members of Yoda's species, which George Lucas didn't want. George Lucas wanted him to be a mysterious species, and he was like the only one surviving of it. But yeah, it worked out okay. It was fine, but I don't particularly like the way that they just disregarded George Lucas's original plan for that species. And some other stuff that they did, like, just really sucked. Like, what other stuff did they do that was actually terrible? Oh, the entire sequel series. I don't know how I could look over that, but, like, the entire sequel series was actually terrible. It was actual garbage. Like, the Rise of Skywalker was okay, but everything else was ass. Yeah, it was just not great. So yeah, Disney kind of sucked when it comes to Star Wars. George Lucas was obviously better, especially with all of the shows that he did, like the Clone Wars. But yeah, it was a good overall. It was a good overall thing, but some of it kind of sucked. But a lot of it was good. Overall, I'd have to give it, out of 5. Actually, I'll do 1 to 10. I'll give it a 9 for George Lucas era. I'll give it a 6 for Disney era. Cause everything that Disney did was sucked, but it was still good. Um, overall, though, I'd have to give it an 8. Well, no, 7 point. No, an 8. An 8. I'll give it an 8. Because it was really, really good overall. But, except for when you get to what Disney did with it. I didn't watch it in release order or chronological order. I just kind of watched it in whatever order. Because, honestly, part of the fun is finding out what era it's from. Like, the Galactic Civil War, to the Clone Wars era, to just, to Old Republic, all of that stuff. It's just fun to find out. So I didn't watch it in any kind of chronological or release order, except for the movies. I watched those in release order. So the main trilogy, then the prequels, then the sequels. And then I watched Rogue One and Solo last for some reason. I kind of forgot about those movies. I did watch one episode of the original Clone Wars series, the old one, with Ugly Sidious and Anakin. But it was really bad. There's not enough story and really just combat. I mean, there is story, but you get more of it in the actual Clone Wars series, the actual canon Clone Wars series. So yeah, my favorite character overall was. That's an interesting question. I'd have to think about that one. I didn't have this prepared at all before this. I'll probably edit this thinking part out. I liked either Maul or Dooku. I know that's a very controversial opinion, but they're both really cool characters with not particularly a lot of like anything surrounding them unless you watch everything. Like Dooku, you don't get a lot of Dooku in any of the movies, but in the shows though, that's when you really get especially in the Clone Wars series, that's when you get a lot of his story, especially and the same with Maul, because he's in one or two scenes in the movie. Yeah, he's in 2 scenes in the movies. Actually, wait, 4 scenes in the movies. 2 of which he's literally just. Wait, no, one of which he's just silent. 3 of which he has a. Well, one of which he has a minor role, and the other 2 he has a somewhat major role. He has that scene where he's just standing behind Sidious, talking to Viceroy Gunray. He has that scene where he's talking to Sidious on the balcony, right before he goes to attack Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. He has the fight scene on Tatooine with Qui-Gon right outside the ship, and lastly and most importantly, he has the Duel of the Fates scene, one of the coolest scenes of all of Star Wars, other than the Anakin vs. Obi-Wan fight. But yeah, when you watch the Clone Wars, he is so much more of a bigger role. And same with Rebels. He's such a big character that we just don't see in the movies, and it's so annoying because he's so cool. He's designed to look evil, and they did such a good job of making him that way. It's a great character. Yeah. My least favorite character, either Rey Skywalker, Rey Palpatine, whatever, just Rey, or Kylo Ren, or Jar Jar Binks. Because Jar Jar has the worst possible voice. He is terribly lucky for being so clumsy. He everything about him sucks. But Rey and Kylo are both really, really whiny, and it's so annoying too. I just don't like those characters. So yeah, thanks for watching. That's all I've got time for. And yeah, I hope you, well, maybe don't watch all of Star Wars because it's a lot, but I hope you watch some of what I've talked about here because it's really good. A lot of it is really good. Some of it kind of sucks though. Well, see you in the next video. Sorry I haven't posted in a while, but I just haven't been able to. See ya.